You know, we see companies, especially small businesses, um, they spend so much of their time putting out fires and teammate drama. It cripples profits, sends people packing, and it just wrecks your day. Well, with the Business Run Better system from Marina Success Group, it's a step by step process, and you prevent those fires and you align your teams. Profits soar, teammates become recruiters, and you get your life back. But how exactly do we do that? Well, you know, businesses have lots of different problems. Maybe it's keeping up with demand and you buy an ERP system, or you it's an accounting problem, so you buy an accounting system, or it's an HR problem, so you get an HR system. And I'm not putting any of those systems down. Or maybe you get help from this person for that problem and this person for another problem. And your day is full of putting out problems. Those are those fires we're talking about. Well, we believe that there is this basic system, or really, with most companies, it's multiple systems. We call it a people process. And it's because every business and every organization is primarily, at its heart, it's a group of people. It's still all about the people. And everything is a process. And processes deliver exactly what they're designed to deliver, which may not be at all what they were intended to deliver. Okay? So at the foundation, below all those other systems and everything you do, there's this basic process of how people decide things, how they communicate, how they get things done, and how they hold each other accountable. And the problem is, in most organizations, there's a system like that for the C-suite, and there's a different system for the shipping department, another system for the production lines, and maybe even for each supervisor on each line. And it ends up being a mess. Okay, what we do is we create a people process. This bottom, and if this process, if this that basic process of how your organization decides things and how you do things is good, all the rest of the problems become so much easier to solve. And when it's good, we call that an organization success system, or an OSS. So let me show you. Let me Okay, so what is a people process? A people process is a process. Now, that process, it can be thoughtful and designed, or it can be a mousetrap put together over time. And that's what most organizations have. Okay. And it's a process by which people, and then the people, we can mean a team, and I love this team picture, or it could be a crowd, or anything in between. So it's a process by which people make some sort of progress. And that progress could be good and fast, or it can be bad and fast, and everything in between. So it's a process by which people make some kind of progress towards some sort of purpose. And that purpose can be noble and well defined, or it can be murky and not good. There's all kinds of things. But that is a people process. Now, the one that's showing on the screen right now is not the process you want. What the process you want is what we call an organization success system. So what we've done is we've used a system so that you end up with a designed process by which teams of people make good, meaningful progress toward a noble and clear goal. And that is an organization success system. And that's what you want at the heart of your organization. And we will refer to it as an OSS. All right, so how do we do that? Well, since it's a process, I think um, it's about execution and getting things done. And when that all works smooth and there's a process, the people align around that central process. And we think the greatest execution app out there is your mapping app on your phone. And we can learn a lot from it. So you get out your phone, and it has to know where you're at. Doesn't get a GPS signal, it's not going to work. And then you have to tell it where you want to go. And you can't just say, I want to go north. That's not going to get you very far. It's going to may say, well, do you want to go to North Dakota or North Pole? Doesn't matter, but it's not going to get you very far. And then, but let's say you put in an address, it'll take you there. Let's say your buddy drops you a pin at his broken down car in the parking lot in Toledo for the medical center, whatever. It'll take you right there. The more exact the destination, the more accurate it is. So it has to know where you are, where you're going. And then it comes up with a step-by-step plan to get you there. Turn here, turn there. It creates the plan, and then it measures your progress. It knows where you are, how far you're going, how fast you're going. It predicts where you're going, how soon you're going to get there. It tracks everything. And lastly, it communicates with you like crazy, sometimes to the point of annoyance where you turn it off and then you drive past the intersection. But it communicates like crazy. So if this app works so well, I would posit that perhaps our organizations might work a little bit better if we clarified who we are, where we're going, and then we took the time to actually plan, get a step by step plan to get from where we are to where we want to go. I call that an adventure, but that's what we need to do. And then we measure our progress along the way. We have to know what's important to measure and then measure it. Not everything that can be measured is important, and not everything that's important can be measured, but this is, we need to measure what we can that matters. And then we need to communicate like crazy. But if you look at that plan, there's some things that are missing. If you want to go somewhere, there's something that has to happen ahead of that before you're actually going to go on a vacation or drive wherever it is. And that's the foundation. It comes ahead of building that set of steps. And that is, you've got to make the time for it. We cannot keep, right now, what we've done over the years is we've taken management and leadership, and we keep combining. And when I say over the years, this has been going on for hundreds of years. It used to be much more clearly defined, but we keep putting them together. And management duties are, getting the resources to do today's work and things, and the people, and getting them trained and so, things like that. Well, they're urgent and they're sometimes on fire. And when we combine those duties too much, what happens is those duties get done, but the leadership things, the vision, the planning, the inspiration, that motivation, they go by the wayside. And we end up with a poorly run organization, or at least people who want to lead just overwhelmed with things that aren't really leadership. And so we need to stop that. All right. So the first thing we need to do is make some time, and we do. But then there's this big gap, this yellow area that you see on the screen right now. Well, what goes in there? Because if we don't fill that gap, those steps are going to fall. What is that? That's systematic accountability. Accountability to actually people do what they say they're going to do and to get things done. Well, it's a very tricky thing, and you'll find a very small number of people who are good at it. That's personality driven accountability. The problem with that is, one, it turns into a little bit of a buddy system, or a lot of a buddy system, and two, it's rare. And when that person's gone, or that person has more people to supervise than they can handle, which is realistically about 7, okay, but that just goes away then. All right, and we need that accountability. So if we don't have the accountability, things are going to fall apart. So we build it into the system. So it's not personality driven, but it's systematic. It's built there. That makes the whole plan stand up and work. And that is a great execution app. And if you build your OSS so that it acts like that, imagine running your business with something that works as well as the mapping app on your phone.